Welcome back to Rock Guitar Confidential with Scott and Ryan. On today's episode, we go positive. Also, Chainsaw Clowns. Next.
Look, I love him, but it's like you can't just hey you, like yeah you in Starbucks. Can you come? You play bass? All right, come on, you're on tour with me. You're my bass player.
Oh yeah. So you're talking about Cringe Mob.
Yes. Well, I mean, I love Lynch. Don't get me wrong, but it's like it's not Lynch Mob. I mean, it's like it's George and whoever he happened to gather around.
It's like Leather Couch Mob.
He looks good for his age, man. He's like
no doubt.
Almost
Yeah,
80. He's like late 70s. I mean, it's
just there was that era of Lynch Mob when like he was super buffed and his skin looked like a leather couch.
That was terrible.
Like those like the maximum tanning.
I had a
days.
misfortune doing a show with him at Big Shots when that exact era.
And I miss Big Shots.
It was like, oh my god, it was he couldn't play because he's like fucking hands were all twitchy because of the muscles and stuff. He couldn't play.
No, you know what it is. It's funny. I remember during periods when I've like lifted weights, like it messes with your grip.
Yeah, it can.
And then it like the heavier you lift, like the harder it is to play.
Yeah, well,
right? Like it screws your dexterity up. Yeah,
exactly. And that's at that time. I think he was more interested in being like muscle bound guy than shredding guitar. Which is it was that time. That's when he dabbled with like rap metal and stuff too. So it's like
All right. Well, we're gonna go positive this podcast.
Yes, this is positive. Speaking of
we
positive,
can't sink into it. We can't sink into the couch mob.
But I think it's hilarious though when it's like it's him and whoever he happened to have in his proximity. Like you guys, you're in my band. That's like when I was like in the 8th grade trying to form a band. Like, hey, we're my friend.
Hey, we're neighbors.
Yeah, exactly.
You own a musical instrument. I guess we're a band
like.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Want to tour and like the Lynch Mob tour with me?
Dude, that's how like
I'm just a dude in front of you at Safeway. It's like that's cool.
That's how my first neighborhood band was when I was a kid. I had a keyboard with a sampler on it, so we just like made fart sounds and then like mapped it to the keys and made fart songs.
I remember I made my best friend learn how to play bass because like, okay, guess what? You're my bass player.
Wow. And you know what? I tried to do that with my best friend growing up too. Did it stick with yours?
No, not at all. No.
Were you still friends after you turned him into a bass player?
Absolutely. He was fine with that, but he didn't really want to play in a band. Like, well, guess what? You're in my band now, dude. That's what we're gonna do.
That's that's really like the test of a friendship, right?
When I was like 12. I'm like, hey, dude, you're my bass player now. And
so that's like the test of a friendship when you turn your best friend into a bass player.
I know. Well, he can unturn.
And then they forgive you.
Yeah, they do. And he just like moved on past the musician point of his life and just realized, okay, cool. I'm just gonna ignore that whole thing ever happened. You know what I mean? That bass playing time was,
What if you had like turned him into like the second guitar player?
Yeah, but
like that would have been cooler.
That would have
taken
like a long time to get him up for that. You know what I mean? Like bass, you just okay. Can you hold this one note? Okay,
would have been cooler for him though. Maybe he would have stuck with it.
It'd been a lot cooler for him.
But instead, you turned him into a bass.
But
player.
I needed him to be up to speed soon. I didn't want to say okay, like in 8 months we can be like play a song together. I wanted to.
This sounds like a Harry Potter villain like casting a spell on you, like Basiosa Leviusum, whatever the fuck. I don't know, but I know. Turns the mark into a bass player.
You are capable of holding down exactly one note at a time. That's it. On 4 strings, 6 is too many. You wouldn't even know what to do with the 6th string.
Oh, that dude. I work with a guy who plays like 6, 7, 8. 12-string bass.
Wow, 12-string bass is freaking sick.
12-string bass is sick because they're like multiple, like 3 courses per string.
It's kind of akin to a 12-string guitar, but like way heavier and crazier. You know what I mean?
Right. And if Doug Pinnick can play it, it's awesome.
Well, Doug
Pinnick, if he can make anything sound good.
He does, and Doug Pinnick's like one of the most badass bass tones I've ever heard. Man, as far as like for a rock bass player, man, he's got this just raw. It's just like this guttural sort of like. It's like just enough grind and growl with it. It's not all just like fat low end. It is fat low end, but it's punchy fat low end.
Yeah.
It's got enough cut, so it kind of has this like it's just fat.
Kind of P bassy, but like there's something else going on there.
And when he pulls out the 12, man, that's just like just thunder. You know what I mean? It's insane.
Man, I miss Hamer. Yeah. I miss Hamer guitars, like the Hamer guitars that made chaparrals and Californians and 12-string basses.
Go on Reverb and eBay and see what you can find.
I do all the time, actually. That's what like one of my main searches is Hamer USA, just to see if something comes up. Every time a Californian that's worth having comes up, You're looking
like $6,000.
Like try 10.
Wow,
10 grand
okay.
for like the solid flame maple body version.
Oh, sure.
Fuck, man.
Well, it's because there's only so many, and they're not making more, so
that's right.
It's gonna get more and more. Whoever buys that's actually an investment, because you wait like another 2 years, they'll go up further and further and further.
That'd be better than how my investments are doing right now. Damn crypto market.
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
but that's why people who would buy. I mean, the people who are buying that are probably buying it, as an investment for that. So same reason, like if you have like a vintage anything, and they do.
And it's tough because like they're hard to find with. I mean, like there's certain there's certain wear and tear that I think is acceptable on buying. So
yeah.
So for example, like on a bolt-on guitar, like there's pretty much always going to be a crack in the finish on the heel joint. Like every bolt-on guitar is eventually going to get that.
What about the Michael bolt-on guitars?
Those start off with a promising rock career, but then they get like kind of boring later.
Oh well, and very good. I'm actually a fan of Michael bolt-on.
I said they start off promising, and then they get boring later.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah. Well, it's repetitive. It's repetitive. The same stuff.
No, totally boring.
I don't know.
Like, dude, hot adult contemporary music, I'll pass.
Oh man, I see. That's what that's the cool thing to say. But I'm going to stand up for the right to listen to whatever.
I mean, look. I mean, he's talented, right? I mean, he started off as a rock singer.
Yeah.
And in fact,
Bob Kulick's guitar player, right?
Bruce Kulick.
Was it Bruce? I thought Bob was his guitar player.
I think Bruce is on the first. I think he does like the solo on. There's a single out there. I forget what the name of the song.
Well, didn't he do like a rock album before he did?
Yeah. He started off as a rock artist and then transitioned into the format known as Hot AC.
Yeah. Adult contemporary,
which stands for Hot Adult Contemporary.
Land of Celine Dion and Kenny G
and just like other misnomers, like if the guitar says special on it, it's not special. If the guitar says custom on it, it's not custom.
No, of course not.
And if the genre is titled hot, it's not hot.
Yeah, that's kind of seems
it's adult contemporary.
Yeah.
Which actually, ironically, would now no longer be contemporary.
No, it would be contemporary if the year was 1990.
Right. Yes, which it is not.
It is not. Last I checked, it is not.
No.
Now, speaking of which, of hot, and you actually just had an experience this last week of going to the favorite. Brian like rolled around like he's in a barrel of puppies here. Like this is his thing. Like he went to the Halloween.
Well, it was like a barrel of like murder puppies,
decapitated puppies, maybe.
I mean the puppies get to live, but maybe they were murder puppies decapitating stupid humans.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. So tell us the better experience at the.
So I'm just coming off a vacation.
Yep.
Right, I did Halloween horror. That's right. So it's Halloween, the only holiday that's worth observing.
Yep. That's a great one. I love Halloween.
And actually, I'm still observing it, right? I'm just going to try and run Halloween all the way to January 1st.
I get you.
Which I guess New Year's is kind of worth observing just to like mark the passage of time, but really like
only just though. That's the only reason they acknowledge.
Pretty much. I mean, really, just Halloween and New Year's. Those really like are the only holidays.
Well, I don't know, man. There's others who would argue that there's other holidays.
They can argue all they want, and they're wrong. But but yeah, so they did Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, and like finally I was able to get a crew of friends together to go do it.
I can't imagine something that's more perfectly tailored to you. Actually, this is like ideal. I tell you.
Dude, they had a whole section of the park like dedicated to chainsaw clowns.
As one does.
That's
usually a part of Texas too. There's like a part of Texas dedicated to chainsaw.
One year they had a Texas Chainsaw Massacre house, which I missed that year. This year they had a Jason Voorhees house.
That's cool.
Where like all the different so they had like part 2 Baghead Jason, they had part 5 like Corey Feldman Jason.
Corey Feldman played Jason at one point?
Well, Corey Feldman.
He got murdered by Jason.
No, he like in that one he actually became like the next Jason at the end of it.
What?
Kind of. That was
not like a mantle.
So that was I think part 5. Yeah, Corey Feldman played a kid who was all into like special effects and stuff like that, and he used special effects to like impersonate Voorhees' mom. And that's kind of how he thwarted him. I'm going to have to do a run through all the different series.
How many have there been actually that are actually in continuity? Are they in continuity? Is it just
all right? So there are 8 numbered entries, right? So there's 1 through 8. 8 being like Jason goes to Manhattan, right?
Okay.
So it's Jason. So it's the original one, right, where his mom is the murderer, right? Okay. And then there's the final scene where the girl's in the canoe, and Jason Voorhees, his hydrocephalic disfigured Tom Savini head, jumps out of the lake and gets the girl for that last jump scare, right?
Okay.
Then part 2, which is actually part 2 is my favorite because that's where it actually is Jason Voorhees.
Okay.
Right, the deformed monster lurking in the woods, like living in a cabin.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, everyone, you know, their Camp Crystal Lake is shut down because of, you know, Pamela Voorhees, his mother, like murdering all the campers. Right.
Okay.
But you know, there's all sorts of like camps like around Camp Crystal Lake, so these other kids are at an adjacent camp. Okay. And then actual like baghead Jason murders all of them. Okay. Right. So he wears a bag over his head, kind of like the Elephant Man.
Wait, is that why they call him that?
What, Baghead Jason?
Yeah,
yes. Part 2 is Baghead.
Okay,
yep.
Yeah.
So you know, so people
There's been quite the meeting in the writers' room to come up with that one.
That's right. People unfamiliar with the series don't realize that he doesn't get the hockey mask until part 3.
Okay.
Yep. So then there's like Jason 3D. Then there's part 4. The final
Jason 3D. It's like the Jaws 3D.
Yep.
What the hell?
Yeah. Part 3 was supposed to be a 3D thing, so you're going to get all the like 3D sight gags, which of course aren't 3D anymore. But,
yeah. That was a thing for a minute. It's probably around the same time as the Jaws 3D.
Yeah, totally the same time. Yeah. So that would have been like 1983, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, well, 3D, 83, 84, yeah. So you know, like the kills where like the eyeball pops out and stuff, and so if you watch it today, you'll notice it was filmed intentionally to be 3-dimensional, but of course it's not because you're just watching it now.
Yeah.
So anyway, then let's see, it was part 4, the final chapter.
Wow, that seems ironic. The part 4 of 8 is the final chapter.
Yeah, and then part 5, A New Beginning. Part 6, that's the one where he's like chained to the bottom of the lake and then he gets resurrected. So I always think of him as kind of like Lightning Jason.
Okay.
Part 7, I can't remember what part 7's all about. Part 8 is Jason goes to Manhattan, Jason goes to New York, right? Okay. So those are all the numbered entries, right? 1 through 8, and again, I'm a little fuzzy on some of them, but. So in the haunted house, right, there's, you know, it's like Jason's mask comes off in like certain entries, right? Okay. You know, and there are different iterations on, you know, hydrocephalic, like deformed, like, you know, monster lurking in the woods Jason, right? Okay. So, you know, you could tell which one was which, right? So part 5 Jason like decapitates a dude in one room. They do the bow and arrow gag, right, which I think is from part 3, right? So you know, a Jason comes out, he draws back the bow, and then an actress runs in, and actually she gets shot in the eye, but then the arrow's sticking out of her eye socket.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's so cool.
So family-friendly, actually. I love that.
You know what? And it's not, and that's what's great about it.
What's the one where he goes to space? Isn't there like a Jason in space one?
Oh, yeah, so that's Jason X. Okay, wait, no, but there's Jason Goes to Hell is really part 9.
Okay.
Right, and then there's Jason X, which would be part 10. Okay. Right, so there's those 10 mainline entries. Then there's the remake. Then there's Jason versus Freddy. Yeah, okay. So, you know.
Something like 10, 12.
Like
movies.
12. There's like a dozen different like movies. Anyway, so you do the tram tour. It gets hijacked by Megan from like, you know, the killer robot doll, right? They drop you off at the bottom of the hill and you walk past the Psycho house, like the Bates Motel. They've got... Oh, and when you get off the tram, you get assaulted by like chainsaw clowns and like Megan and all these other like Bloomhouse type characters. Okay. The chainsaws are real, so like the actors are running around the park with actual chainsaws.
Can't imagine there's any kind of liability there.
Well, there's no blades on the saws.
Oh, okay.
So they just run the motors.
Oh, okay. I mean, that'd be kind of more interesting if they had blades in the saws.
It would be great.
Let's see what happens. You know? Yeah.
So you know, there's the Carnival of Carnage. You got chainsaw clowns. So you got like haunted houses and stuff.
So this thing is like a 4-day only kind of thing. Like, what is the
they do it for a couple of weeks. Okay. There's a haunted house where they've got like they did one this year called Monstrous, the ghosts of like Latin and like South America.
Oh wow.
So they had like a La Llorona section, right, where like all these like dead kids are like face down in the like lake.
Okay.
Dude, it's so awesome. There's another one where like this monster comes out of the sky and like bites down on the top half of this kid that's sleeping, and then his little legs are dangling while she like finishes devouring him like a snake. Man, it was just so cool, dude. There was just there was a lot of child murder. It was really great. There you go. You can kind of see on my phone here. I'm showing Scott.
This is so great that it's
see the dangling legs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was great. I just I don't know why they don't do this all year round.
I mean, it seems like it's an unknown. I mean,
like it is clear to me like why Universal Studios is superior to Disney in every way, shape, and form. Oh, if you've seen Terrifier, Art the Killer Clown.
Oh yeah.
They have a whole entire Terrifier house with like kills from the Terrifier movie.
Wow.
So, there's like there's the part where he's got like the woman strung up, and then he like vivisects her with the chainsaw, and there's other decapitations and stuff.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh man, it was just so cool. And then we did like this 4D chainsaw. Man, there's a lot of chainsaws.
That makes sense.
There were just a lot of chainsaws. Again, I've been to Disneyland a bunch of times, and like I don't remember any chainsaws or chainsaw clowns.
Seems like
or
that
La Llorona murders.
Wouldn't be really on brand for Disney.
Or dead children floating in the water.
Track,
so you know what? Screw Disney. Universal Studios wins.
You know what's funny? I was just gonna say, like, this is for you, like this, like absolutely, like the most perfect Ryan thing I can imagine.
Oh, it was so great.
Just like Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland is for me. It's exactly the same thing. That could not be more perfect. It's exactly. I get to like build a lightsaber, and then
but do you get to murder? Do you get to murder anything with the lightsaber?
Stormtroopers. You know what I mean? That's
wait, but do you actually like get to cut their limbs off?
No.
Hasn't Disney
in the Millennium Falcon? I get to murder
Disney
TIE fighters and stuff like that. And that's
so Disney has banned anthropomorphic dismemberment.
Well, no, if it's a robot, they'll do that.
I don't care. I want to see. I want blood.
I mean,
blood.
Lots of things.
Right. I mean, I realize that the lightsaber would like cauterize, like if you.
That's true. Because if you slice one's arm off, there wouldn't be any blood.
Right. But I want to hear the stormtrooper like scream for its mommy while it dies.
Yeah, I guess that's
so
that's something to look forward to in future chapters, I guess.
I don't know, but anyway.
Speaking of looking forward,
yes,
just to get us on the rock guitar track. Thank you guys for listening to the.
And I will say there is a bar in it. So we also the second day I was down there before we changed gears.
Okay.
We did make a trip. We did have a beer over at the Rainbow Bar and Grill. We walked up and down the Sunset Strip.
Nice, Lemmy. You can see Lemmy stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of Lemmy stuff there. Walked by the Roxy. There weren't any like the Jenna Torturers were playing at the Roxy, which is kind of like there was a lot of punk stuff going on, so we didn't waste any money to see.
There's nothing happening, dude. LA.
It was not cool.
The clubs are totally dead, man.
We went into
it's all pay to play and cover bands.
It sucks, dude. The band that was like setting it. We thought Halloween night there'd be some like good shit, and I mean there were some like.
Well, sometimes there's nationals coming through. You might see like a national playing at the Whiskey or the Rock.
Yeah, there were nationals that were coming through like this week, later on. Like Dawkins was going to be at the Rainbow on Wednesday, like tomorrow. I think Dawkins there.
Yeah.
Bullet Boys, where our friend Brad Lang is playing bass. Bullet Boys is going to be there this month. Yeah, he's playing bass in Bullet Boys now. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I think
Thank God, I'm glad he knows how to deal with Mark Torian, man. Oh my God.
Well, other Sacramento guitar great Ira Black is playing guitar in the band too. So we got two Sacramento guys in Bullet Boys now.
That's cool. That's way cool. Yeah.
So there was an ad running for them. They're playing somewhere on the Sunset Strip. It might not be. The Rainbow was also running ads for like other clubs, and so the ownership must be in cooperation.
No, they probably have with the same booking agent doing all that. I don't think the clubs are actually booking their own stuff anymore. I think there's a booking agent that's doing it.
Like a talent bar or something.
Yeah. There used to be back in the day. I remember when I played the Whiskey. I remember you deal with the club. There's a booking agent for the Whiskey. There's a booking agent for the Roxy. There's a booking agent for whatever it might be. Back in the day with the Coconut Teaser and all those different places down there, there was individual booking agents who did all that stuff. Now I think it's kind of like similar to Sac. Like there's Live Nation does all the booking for most of the clubs, and a lot of Sacramento clubs are doing that. Well, I mean, it kind of sucks in a way because that means there's a lot more homogeneity. It's like
homogeneity.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
That's okay, sir.
Pardon me, sir.
Dude, I know. I've been the language police lately. I heard. So my buddy Andrew. So this is one of my pet peeves, right? So when someone screws up a phrase, right?
Yeah.
So here's my latest annoyance. When people say,
by the way, we're going super positive. Just hold tight. We're going super positive in this.
No, it's fine. This is educational. This has nothing to do with other things that have annoyed us in the past.
Okay, those are all in the past, man.
This is a public service. I'm about to do our audience a public service.
Right.
If they don't already know this, but you'll hear people say, in that aspect.
So what's the context?
No, they're trying to say, well, in that respect.
Oh, okay.
But they say in that aspect. It means they've heard the phrase incorrectly,
and then there's parodying it basically.
Right. Yeah. I think this is what happens when people don't read enough.
Or they try and sound smart, and they think that guy's smart. That Joe Rogan knows lots of things.
Right. Yeah, Joe. It's a Joe Rogan type of thing to do.
Yeah, seems like he's college educated. Yep. Oh my God.
Right. Yeah, so So just
he knows things and whatnot.
The phrase is in that respect, not in that aspect.
Yeah.
So don't signal to other people that you're dumb by saying in that aspect. Say in that respect.
Another option be have your own thoughts. that'd be good.
Well, you can look. I mean, it's like a G chord, dude. A good phrase belongs to everybody, right? As long as you're not like parroting an idea that someone else came up with. So I think it's perfectly okay to say, well, in that respect,
yeah.
You're right.
I've never heard anyone say this in that aspect. That's never.
You'll hear it.
That's never come across my transit.
Yep. You'll hear it.
All right, very cool.
So
anyway, we wanted to move into positive territory, and one thing that I was thinking about this morning, and I thought might be an interesting discussion, especially for people who, like ourselves, might sometimes have something negative to say about the current times we live in. I wanted to just go and like hit people, some really cool guitar players who've emerged in the last few. I'm gonna open it up pretty wide to like 2000. So from 2000 to now, who are like the best 3 guitar players we've come across that are people who really emerged, became well known in the last, say, 20 something years, and that's something I think that you got to recognize, that there's a lot of really great guitar players out there, but these are the ones that Ryan and I think are really sick.
And then who would win if they were to like fight to the death?
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the Rock Guitar Confidential podcast with Ryan and Scott. Please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. Now back to the show. Well, what would the arms be? Would they have shields? Would they have hammers and swords? Would they be chainsaws? Are they?
Well, there might be pointy guitars.
Could be machetes. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Speaking of machete, we went to Trejo's Donuts, Denny Trejo's donut shop. Yeah,
man. A donut shop? That's cool.
Dude, I ate all the shit food all in one day, man. Because I've been healthy this last year, right? But all in one day, man. I had
got it out, yeah.
I had donut holes from Trejo's Donuts. I went and I got a hot dog at the Tesla Cafe. It came in like a Cybertruck container.
Okay, very cool.
Yep. Let's see. Had a slice of New York pizza at some notable place on the Sunset Strip. I forget its name. And and we went and saw Guillermo del Toro's new Frankenstein movie
very cool.
in a tiny built-in 1937 theater.
That's way cool. That's how you want to see that too. That's how you want to see that.
Ooh, and Coke bottles. Yeah, De Niro is still my Frankenstein's monster. Yeah. I think Branagh's Frankenstein is actually superior, although the visuals, and there's a lot of good points about Guillermo's Frankenstein, but anyway, it'll be on Netflix on November 7th.
That actually
so you
seems
can watch
like
it.
A perfect fit right there, Guillermo del Toro, and
it is a perfect fit. But I'll just say, like, the monster is too pretty.
Huh? Okay.
Right? He's supposed to be stitched together from corpses, so the monster is supposed to be fucking ugly.
Yeah.
And he's not. He's too pretty.
Okay.
He's like supermodel creature.
Okay. Well, I mean,
just anyway, there's some other decisions that were made that I don't prefer. I think the nastiness of De Niro's creature, like, you'll actually be afraid of for good reason. Like, this creature, not as frightening.
He's like, I really feel best when I have Dior on.
Yeah, dude, if he said that, I would have been like, yeah, that's on brand.
And then he walks his catwalk and looks all pouty and stuff.
Yeah, he could totally do that, dude. Yeah, I mean, Jacob Elordi's performance was great. Everyone's performance was, I love Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac's good and everything, man.
Yeah, I think if you want to watch a movie with Oscar Isaac as, like, the mad scientist creating life, then you should just watch Ex Machina.
Well, he's kind of a what's a tech bro in that movie, like a tech bro douchebag.
Well, but he's also a Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah, he is to a degree, but he's more like, they're definitely kind of mixing like him and like Zuckerberg and like that kind of, he's got that kind of tech bro, billionaire douchebag kind of vibe going. You know what I mean? And right, on the positive territory, I'm gonna go first. We'll volley back and forth. The guitar player who I think is the first one that gave me a lot of hope, like when I was starting to lose hope in the mid 2000s, was Jeff Loomis. Jeff Loomis from the band Nevermore. Nevermore technically didn't emerge until like the late 90s, but I didn't even hear of him until like probably 2004, I want to say. And just complete technical virtuoso, incredibly interesting riffs. Like if you listen to the Nevermore riffs, they're like incredibly interesting. Every riff, every little part of the songs has got something cool, melodically and harmonically, rhythmically, especially. Like his riffs are just insane riffs.
Yeah, isn't he? He's in Arch Enemy now. Isn't he? Was
now he's back in Nevermore. Nevermore's reactivated.
Nice.
Now I know World Dane is gone. And
well, you know what they say. Never say nevermore.
That's true, and they didn't. So it's Van Williams and him, and they got 2 new guys, and they're just going and playing the Nevermore catalog.
Oh yeah,
and they're playing Vakin. They're playing. They're doing support for, I guess, Judas Priest.
Right.
And so there's a lot of cool stuff going on with that. But he's, I mean, one of the first guys I came across where I was just like blown away. Technical virtuosity, like unparalleled virtuosity, but with like great heavy riffs and melodicism. And then I thought Nevermore was an incredible band. The stuff he did with Arch Enemy was pretty much just Arch Enemy with Jeff Loomis playing awesome solos.
Yeah.
That was basically what it was. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that.
But so the Amat brother writing all the stuff.
Yeah. Which is, he's great. I mean, I actually really like what am I trying to say? Arch Enemy. I was going to say Amon Amarth. Arch Enemy a lot. But I mean, with Jeff.
It's not Jeff Amat. Is it?
That's Michael Amat.
Michael Amat. Yeah.
That's Chris and Michael, I believe.
Chris and Michael Amat.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I mean, I very talented guys for sure. I mean, if it was Jeff writing the parts, it would be like Nevermore. It would sound like Nevermore. It wouldn't be what Arch Enemy is, which is still pretty badass too. His instrumentals records are really great too.
Yeah,
like
sure.
Conquering Dystopia and Zero Order Phase from him are freaking sick. Those would be right next to like Dragon's Kiss, or
by Marty Friedman.
Yeah, or Mind's Eye. So it's right in that same sort of like zone. It's sick. So everybody I mean, I'm hope you know who Jeff Loomis is, but if you don't, go check out Jeff Loomis, Nevermore, his instrumental stuff. It's just it's insane. It's great.
When you mentioned Jeff Loomis, I for some reason in my head I have him associated, and this may count as a pick, with a friend of this program and yours, Rusty Cooley.
Yeah. Well, associated. I don't think they've ever done any collaboration.
I don't know. I don't know why, but I just those. I feel like those guys like emerged kind of at the same time.
Yeah, similar. Yeah. Rusty.
Yeah.
I mean, Rusty wasn't in a bigger band like that. I mean, he did. Obviously, he's got a couple of bands he's been in, and
sure.
they've done some stuff for sure.
I mean, I'm aware of Rusty more as like also an educator too. Yeah.
Totally. But Jeff was in Nevermore at the time, and it was like he was getting all the covers of all the magazines and stuff like that too. And that's how I found out like Guitar World magazine. I'm like, wait, who's this guy? There's a new guy who's freaking sick, and I checked the music. I'm like, oh my god, the music's freaking great too.
Nice.
How'd that happen? Because I was just so beaten down from the previous. I was really excited. You know what I mean?
We're staying positive.
Yeah, exactly. No, I am staying positive because that was great. I was like a sunrise on after the battle, the sunrise, and it was like, oh my god, there is life still. You know
or the moon rising after like a really annoyingly sunny day.
Sorry. This is where you and I are going to part ways, sir.
Sorry, I'm still in Halloween horror mood.
Okay,
right? I'm really trying to keep this rolling until January.
What's your first pick?
I'm going to go Jackie Vincent.
Okay, that's Falling in Reverse.
Yes, Falling in Reverse, and they did that power metal thing, but like that first Falling in Reverse album is a special album.
Yeah, how'd you discover it? What did you think when you found it?
A student brought it to me, right, and I think he was calling it post-hardcore as like a genre. But I just said, dude, this just sounds like awesome fucking metal.
Yeah.
Right? And
they like a metalcore-ish band to start with, and then they...
See, this is so funny because these like subgenres just totally fall flat to me.
I agree, because they're not helpful.
Like, I don't know what metal... I don't know how metalcore is different than metal.
Metalcore, essentially, in my mind, is it's just metal, but you have screamed verses and sung choruses. That's basically what metalcore is to me. You have like the hardcore screaming.
Like, if you flip the script and had what was it, sung choruses and scream verses.
So that's what metalcore is.
Okay, so if you have sung verses and then like Cookie Monster choruses.
Yeah, it would be the same thing.
Wait, did we just invent a new genre?
We shouldn't, because we should. If you can sing in the verses, doesn't it stand to reason you should also sing in the choruses?
I'm just talking about being novel. Anyways,
there's a lot of novel things. Coronavirus was novel.
Novel coronavirus.
That doesn't mean it's a positive thing. Learn to sing. It's not that hard. You know what I mean?
Oh man, yeah. So Jackie Vincent, smooth player. He's got some solo albums.
Great guitar player. I've seen the guy. He could shred, man.
His first solo album is called Star X Speed Story. It's got guest appearances.
Name, actually.
Dude, it really is, man. Like, if video game sounding music could be cool and shreddy, like that's what some of the tracks would be.
Dragon Force. I mean, Dragon Force is that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally, totally. And so then this is all instrumental, like guitar shredding and stuff, right? There's special guest appearances from Paul Gilbert and Michael Angelo Badio.
Nice.
So yeah, I really appreciate
OGs of the genre.
I appreciate how Jackie Vincent always, flew the flag for those guys.
Yeah,
and brought notoriety to his inspirations and influences. Yeah. So and again, the songs on that first Falling in Reverse album are awesome. The second one's pretty good too, but it kind of starts to get more into some hip hop territory. As Ronnie Radke is wont to do.
I'm sure there's some record company pushing in that direction too, like trying to be more mainstream or something.
And there was I forget what the name of the guitar player was who wrote most of the riffs and stuff, but he died.
Oh no!
So that's too bad, man. That's because the songs are really, really good. I'm not sure how much of a hand Jackie Vincent had in the composition of the songs themselves, but the solos are great. Really fluid player. He's got the chops. He's got his own voice. Really worth. I think he's a British kid.
I remember when he first came out. I remember seeing, hear and tell of him, and then checking it out and thinking, like, this guy's the real deal. He can really play. And that was so cool. And I think, it was exciting because you want more. You want more of that in the world. You want like guys who are sick and going to inspire the next generation to be good.
Because less is more.
Tim Henson is doing that now. As much as I'm not a huge fan of Tim Henson's music necessarily, I think that is a positive net that he's inspiring people to want to pick up the guitar.
Yeah, totally. A net positive that he's getting people inspired to play. Right. It's kind of how I feel about Taylor Swift. Right. Yeah. She inspires girls to pick up guitars,
or anybody for that matter.
I'm all for it.
Yeah. Okay. So my next one. This is another dude I think is just insane. And actually, speaking of which, he actually played with Jeff Loomis in Nevermore as a second guitar player. But he also had a very famous stint in Megadeth, and that's Chris Broderick, who's currently playing in Flames. He's actually the lead guitar player in Flames at the moment. But he is just a monster. And then he did all the 8-finger tapping stuff, and he like really... it's almost like a lexicon of like every kind of guitar technique you can possibly imagine this guy got in the bag. He's got great legato, he's got fast alternate picking chops, sweeping, 8-finger tapping, he can do economy picking, it's just insane. And I remember Scott Allen Project did a show with Active Defiance, which was his band. He did with Sean Jover, and I got a chance to hang with him, during sound check and stuff, and super nice guy, super chill. Very humble for a man that's got his skill. You know what I mean? And
nice.
it was really, really cool. And I just always was blown. I remember listening to that album, In Game from Megadeth, and was listening to some of the solos on that album. I mean, just so sick. I mean, it's just like almost like should be illegal how badass. It's like killer tone, killer chops. It's just like he hits the gas when he needs to hit the gas, and he leans back when he doesn't. But he's got all the technical facility in the world. You know what I mean?
You know what is just since we're still on the tail, I'm going to say it's still spooky season. Okay. So you just reminded me. I was listening to my buddy Andrew and I on the way down to Los Angeles. We listen to just a bunch of King Diamond albums. All the way down, right?
It's perfect, dude. Come on. Could it be more perfect? I mean.
And I was searching through the podcasts, in the car. Mm-hmm. And I found there's I forget who it is. It's a guy that works for like Metal Blade Records, right?
Okay.
And he'll do a whole podcast on like just one song.
Oh, that's cool.
And they did Welcome Home by King Diamond.
Oh, wow.
And like the main guest that was on there to talk about the song was Chris Broderick.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
Dude, I just listened to that recently. So yeah,
I'm sure Andy LaRocque was probably a big influence on Chris. You know what I mean? That's
dude. He totally talks all about Andy LaRocque and Pete Black, and they talk about how the song was recorded, like the interesting production decisions. And anyway, so it's worth a listen, man. Chris Broderick also seems just like a really cool guy.
Yeah, he's kind of similar to us, you know what I mean, in the sense that he just loves music, loves guitar.
That we're also really cool guys.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, in that sense, he's just like us.
Right.
Massively skilled guitarists who are really cool guys.
So in that respect, he's just like us.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I just used the phrase correctly.
You mean in that aspect?
God. Bruh.
So anyway, monster guitar player. Another guy was like a shining beacon of hope. I remember like, oh my God. And I remember when I found out that him and Jeff Loomis were together in Nevermore, I thought that was the sickest thing ever. Are you kidding me? Like both these guys together in this band. I mean, it's just monstrous having like that much talent on one stage. I mean, it's just insane. So, and when he got the Megadeth gig, I thought he crushed it, man. His playing, especially on the first one they did with Mustaine, In Game. Such killer stuff.
Isn't Crush It actually a Megadeth song?
That actually is the one. That's the last album they did with Marty.
Okay.
That's when they're trying to get with the WWE thing,
right?
90s era kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly. All right, so Chris Broderick is my second choice.
Okay, nice.
What's it?
Okay, so here's one. So there's a Japanese band called Galnerius.
Yeah, you've told me about this. Yeah,
that everyone needs to check out. And their guitarist, his name is Sue.
Stu. Okay.
It's SYU.
Well, that is cool.
Yeah, and he's got some solo albums.
Okay.
So that's a band that, emerged like post 2000. Sue is fucking awesome. Like think like neoclassical, like Galnerius sounds a lot like Concerto Moon, like neoclassical Japanese metal.
Yeah.
Just like to an outrageous degree, right?
Yeah. So almost like if you took like one of the trilogy suites from Yngwie's kind of thing, where it's like, but with vocals.
But with vocals, right? Yeah. And then Sue does his own, solo stuff, which is his own prerogative on things, right? It's a little more broad, stylistically. Like I think one of the albums is called "You Play Hard."
Oh, that's cool. Was
Yeah.
that just it's translated to "You Play Hard"? Is that what it is?
That's a good question. I don't really know, but it's yeah. I mean, you know, so if you're looking through like Apple Music or something like that, you know, you could find you would be able to link you off of Galnerius, right?
Yeah, so you probably get like a suggestion for this is a solo album or something. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
so that's a newer band. That's specifically a guitar player that's carved out a solo career. You know, and I'll piggyback Nozomu Wakai on top of that, right? So a couple Japanese guitar players I've discovered.
Yeah, like, that's shocking that Japanese guitar players are rad. I mean, that's
who would have thought?
I mean, who knew that like a country where their skill is like venerated.
Their commitment to excellence and they're totally like anti Post Malones.
Yeah, exactly. We have too much talent. That's the thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's
there's a you know, of course, there's the scene in Frankenstein where he's like observing.
Wait, is this the new one? Is this a spoiler?
Well, this is actually any Frankenstein.
Oh, okay.
Like it's you know, as part of the classic Frankenstein story, the monster, after like being expelled from the castle, he ends up on a farm with this family where there's like a blind grandfather, right? And that's the one that teaches him how to speak. But for a while, he's just hiding in like the grain shed.
Yeah, as one does.
As one does, because he doesn't want to be seen by the family, right? He eventually, like, the monster starts helping the family with they call him the spirit of the forest. So he'll go out and like, you know, pull up like crops and stuff and leave them on the door. So go out and get a bunch of because the monster's got superior like strength and stamina, right?
Yeah.
And of course things all go awry, and then he hates humans and goes murdering.
Okay.
This is just in the
here we go murdering.
Here we go murdering. All through the town.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sounds like that's what inevitably is going to happen.
It's fantastic, man. And so
who knew there'd be negative consequences of bringing a corpse thing back to life? I mean,
yeah. So when he's hiding in like the grain silo, right? There's like all these rats and stuff, right?
Oh,
so like I leave over my buddy, I'm like, dude, what is that Post Malone doing on his shoulder?
he got to sell it to the kids, man. They got to sell it to the kids.
And so now my friends have been trolling me with Post Malone.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, man. No one should have to go through that.
It was tough. So anyway, sorry, we're going a little bit off topic.
Okay, my last choice is going to be, and there's more, but we're going to do 3 each, is Guthrie Govan. Now Guthrie actually is he's got his solo career. He actually kind of got most well known, I think, for running a YouTube channel where he would like basically show like he would like take on the personas of different guitar players and play stuff in the style of, you know, Zakk Wylde or in the style of Randy Rhoads. And
total chameleon.
Totally. But his solo records and the stuff he did with Aristocrats is just insane. You know, he gets a little into the jazz fusion weeds sometimes for me, but when he rocks hard, and he's just got such a unique, interesting style. He's got, just like Chris Broderick, he's got every technique under the book and his fingers. And so he could do anything. And I think that's something that is a real lesson for all of us guitar players, is that, you know, don't ever stop adding to your bag, because if you have all these different concepts, all these different techniques under your fingers, that allows for unlimited freedom in terms of your expression.
And
you know what I mean?
Don't stop believing.
It's true. Well, no one should ever stop believing.
Yeah.
But that being said, you know, that's our goal. Our goal as guitar players is to do that, is to try and have unlimited. Because if you have all the chops in the world and all the techniques you can imagine under your fingers, then you can let your imagination just run wild and do whatever you want.
Yeah, it's like you should be like the Borg, like absorbing other life forms and then like taking their best traits and then making
like
it a part of your own.
So that,
absolutely, like a vampire, right? Yeah. Like sucking the life essence out of other players. Yes, absolutely, and then making it your own. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree.
That's a very positive way of looking at it with everything.
Totally.
But I mean,
or like you know, the little like troll monster that like climbs up on your chest while you're asleep and then sucks your breath out in your soul.
Isn't that with a cat's eye? Cat's eye?
Yeah, cat's eye. Yeah, totally. So you should be like the cat's eye demon of guitar playing.
Yeah.
Sucking the soul out of other guitar players.
Ironically, played by a cat in that movie.
Yes.
So if you're gonna have a demon that sucks your soul out, of course it would be a cat.
At least it should. You know, I wonder if like Yngwie J. Malmsteen like considers that in the morning.
Dude, he's got a long game. He
probably
got a long game.
Every morning he's like, should I suck out Ryan's soul, or should I just turn off the CPAP or put my paw on his forehead until he gets me a can of tuna?
Yeah, that's probably the way he'll go with there.
He always goes. Yeah, he always goes for the can. He's gone for the can of tuna.
Like I said, he's playing a long game, man.
He is.
That's true. When it comes time, you know.
He may have realized early on that I've already sold my soul for rock and roll.
Yeah, exactly. Of course. But Guthrie, I'll get back to him.
Yes.
One thing I love about is not just his chops, because having great chops riffs is a wonderful thing, like I said, that allows you unlimited freedom as far as creativity is concerned. But he's got a really unique, interesting style. He doesn't sound like other. I mean, he can sound like other people, but when he plays his own stuff, it sounds like Guthrie. You can kind of tell he's got a vibe to the way he plays. There's like a slipperiness to the way he gets in and out of phrases. His blending of different technical, like legato and staccato and sweeping and stuff. It's really unique to him. You know, his riffing and the way he puts chords together is very unique, and that's something I really love about a guy who's kind of more modern, because like one of my complaints about a lot of more modern shredders is they kind of all read the same book. They all kind of sit there doing the same stuff, and Guthrie's not that. He's kind of more like the kind of hero that we grew up on, where it's like, you know, there's a unique kind of thing.
He's got his own voice.
Yeah, exactly. He's got his own vibe happening. He's not just like doing the same thing these other 10 guys are doing. You know what I mean?
I really like how no nonsense his Charvel signature guitar is.
Yep.
Right,
that doesn't have a Floyd though. That doesn't sit
yes,
right.
Yes, it does.
Me. No, when he doesn't, that's not a Floyd. That's just a regular.
It's a Floyd without fine tuners. It's the original Floyd. So the Guthrie Govan model, it's got the locking tuners on it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, if
you have locking tuners, you're good.
If the nut is lubricated properly, where it's super low friction, then if you've got locking tuners, and I mean, it is still a Floyd Rose bridge, just no fine tuners. Yeah,
I guess. I don't know. There's something about that vibe that I don't dig. I want it to be a regular Floyd. You know what I mean? That just doesn't sit right with me. Damn it.
I mean, I know that. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool with the fine tuners, and
everything about it's cool with the Floyd. Yeah.
But I mean, it is a Floyd.
Well, I mean, okay, with a traditional Floyd with a locking nut and like the fine tuners, you know, that's what you want.
You know, I will say
if it's got locking tuners and it's got either like a low friction or like graphite or a roller or something kind of nut.
I will say
it's totally cool.
My Brian Moore C55 has a Wilkinson V100 on it. And locking Spritzel tuners, and that guitar stays in tune great.
My 7-string VGA is the same kind of thing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
With a Teflon nut.
Teflon nut.
Yeah, exactly. So it works beautifully. It stays in tune. It doesn't stay as good as my Floyd VGAs. My Floyd VGAs stay in perfect. Oh my God, I can't get those things out of tune. They will stay in tune for freaking ever. But that one stays in tune really, really well. And I think the other thing too is I like to really abuse the shit out of my bar. I like to really and so the ones that don't have a like regular Floyd, you can't just get fucking crazy with it.
Yeah, the Brian Moore stays in tune really well, but the range on the bridge isn't as much.
Yeah, you can't go as berserk with that without a Floyd.
Yeah, you could take all the tension off, except your strings will fall out of the nut slots, and you can't pull up. It floats, but you can't pull up as far. You still can, but not as far.
Well, that's really nitpicking. Because I need a guitar like my VGA Excaliburs. Yeah, I can do freaking anything with those things. It's got the freaking ball bearing mounts and stuff on it, so it's just so killer. That's what I want. I want a guitar I can just do. I can go to town on that bar, man. Yes. I can do cool stuff. But I actually miss that. I remember like when I'm playing live sometimes. I remember like trying to do harmonic screams and I can only pull it up so much, and I remember like being bummed about that.
Sure,
I
get that.
Yeah, so that's just
when you go to do a thing and you can't do that thing.
Yeah,
it's
like why do I have to?
It's like moving the dog's food bowl.
Yep, exactly.
Like, wait, what?
That's not right.
Right, where's my bar?
And you kind of go, man, I got to make this work, whatever. But
that's correct.
But that's because I'm a whammy bar guy. I always have been. You know, so I can't tell you how much my childhood was spent just going
making elephant sounds,
just like doing that
elephant and cat sounds.
Not even really practicing technique, just like.
Well, you have to explore all the semitones. You know,
I'm sure it was very fun for my family when I was like 12, 13. Like,
it's the best. I tell my students to go home and annoy their families regularly.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yes.
Like, done, sir.
That's
I got this. All right, what's your last one?
Boy, I don't know. You know what? I sort of piggybacked you and Nozomo Wakai like on top of each other. So, man, I don't know who else would be a good pick. I discover bands these days more than I'm discovering individual players. It seems that's definitely different, right?
Yeah,
So, like, I think Concerto Moon's great. I have no idea what their guitar player's name is.
I've heard this band. This band is really good.
It's, Japanese neoclassical metal. It is completely outrageously over the top. I love it.
Yeah, right? It's very killer, man.
Everyone knows I'm obsessed with Saber Tiger, but they've been around for like 30 years, just not in the United States.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the guitar players' names are either. I just love the band, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, in terms of just individual guitar players, I guess it's, I don't know. I don't know what it says that I'm not focused on individual players as much as I am on discovering like new bands that I dig.
That's interesting to me. I mean, I'm not surprised that I would count Nozomo Wakai and Sue as like two separate players. So I'll give that.
Yeah, they're two sets. So I still get my three.
Still in, I think it's interesting. I got 2 Americans and a Brit, and you have almost
2 Japanese guys and a British guy. Yeah. But so in terms of American players, Dude, man, I don't know.
Well, Totes and the Bossy seems like one of the ones that's kind of become well known, but
well, I mean, I know he's good, but like I don't really listen to him.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to him, but like it's actually chore to listen to Animals as Leaders. It's actually not like one of those things where like, oh, this is sick, because like it's almost like a stream of consciousness. You know, like ever watch like a YouTube short and like all this stuff's just shooting by and stuff, and you can't really focus on any one thing. I feel like listening to Animals as Leaders is like that. It's like this crazy riff, and then on some other crazy riff, and it keeps going.
Yeah. So I was talking to my buddy Andrew on the drive down to Los Angeles. Which, by the way, in the Tesla was like the least stressful trip down to LA I've ever taken.
Oh, that's so good, man. That's awesome.
Because there's no wear and tear on, like, I'm not worried about wear and tear on the transmission or the engine or anything. Yeah. Dude, we took the car up to 159 miles an hour on like a straightaway.
On the I-5, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to know where, like, in case the cops want to hang out and...
No, we made sure there were no cops around as best we could, right? Dude, my car does, like, it says the top speed.
Crow's Landing, perhaps, maybe, I don't know. Yeah,
it's fucking like the car is so stable at like 120 miles an hour. Like if you're not paying attention, like if we didn't have any traffic, we could have easily just bombed down there at 120 the whole way. Like and it feels like 80 in other cars.
Yeah.
It's like it's built for speed. It's, wow. Anyway,
it doesn't feel like you're going that, especially on like that, because you've got such an endless stretch of road in front of you.
Right.
It like feels like you just
Dude, like
it still doesn't feel like you're going fast enough.
Yeah, like once we get, I mean, like, okay, 159 feels fast. But I mean, the car feels stable. It's just that there's shit coming up on you faster than you're used to.
Yeah.
It's like that big rig off on the horizon. Like you're going to be up on it like no now. So you've got to really like be careful
and watch what they do is you can't adjust fast.
I mean, you're not going to. I mean, we didn't stay. We took it up to 159
and went, holy shit, we're at 159,
and then came back down. Yeah. So like we didn't cruise at 150. It's like hitting afterburners.
Yeah,
like we hit the afterburner and went like Mach 2 for a little bit, and then we came back down.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so while we were on that trip, we were just talking about like these, shred guitar players and stuff, and I don't know, man.
By the way, I should probably mention that we recused ourselves from calling ourselves like the best guitarists who've come out since 2000. Just so
we've recused, yes, right, yes.
So we are a little self-serving if we're like, oh,
well, and I mean,
oh my God, it's the greatest.
Well, and really, we were both born in the 70s, and so we kind of came out in the 70s to us.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't know about you, but like I've known.
Well, I didn't start playing until the mid 80s, so I guess like
I know,
as a guitar
but
player, I didn't come out to the world until I was as a guitarist. Still,
right, but I mean, this will come as a shock to everybody, but like I've known myself since I was born.
Have you?
And actually, no, because babies don't know shit.
Yeah,
but as soon as I achieved full personhood at like the age of like 10 or 11, I then knew myself. Yes.
All right, very cool. She tapes. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So so when it comes to like guitar virtuosity, man, like I need songs too.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So Yngwie's got some instrumental albums. Like I don't care about them as much as I care about we listen
Rising Forest or like freaking
like so we listen to
Marching Out and
Facing the Animal is a great example.
Yeah,
because they're just killer songs, and the production's also really
Odyssey,
good.
Trial by Fire. I mean, there's a bunch of good. I mean, it's so good. I mean,
I think on Facing the Animal they paid attention to how the drums sounded too. Like the drums sound really good also, because like on albums like Trilogy, it's a drum machine.
Yeah,
I think obvious it's a drum machine.
I think my favorite Yngwie is probably Eclipse. That's probably my favorite album from him.
Fire and Ice is a favorite of mine. Yeah. Trilogy is also a favorite. I mean, there's a lot of favorites.
Love is fucking sick. That's
so
great
sick. Or Liar. I mean, what a great song.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I like let's take Steve Vai as an example, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not a Passion and Warfare Steve Vai guy. I'm a Sex and Religion Steve Vai guy.
Probably Even Smile too, I would imagine, right? I mean,
yeah, sure,
yeah,
absolutely. Oh yeah, you didn't. Well, the David Lee Roth stuff, definitely, or the second Alcatraz album. So I was showing Andrew. So I was showing Andrew stuff. That's kind of how it started. I was showing him stuff like the first Alcatraz album where Yngwie's on guitar, young Yngwie.
Yeah.
But there's also songs and a crappy drum machine.
Yeah.
But so you get past some of the production limitations. But Graham Bonnet on the second Alcatraz album, you've got Steve Vai on it.
Yeah.
But there's songs.
Yeah.
So I guess this is relevant to our conversation in that, I might not be the right guy who's going to discover just that guitar player. I'll discover bands though.
Yeah.
And then I might find out who the guitar player is.
My favorite Steve Vai is Passion and Warfare. That's definitely my favorent Steve Vai. I mean, I love all the stuff that you're mentioning too. I think that stuff's great too. But I think, and it's funny, I like all of his other instrumental records he made out. I think what is it? Alien Love Secrets, obviously Flexible. If you get into like Fire Garden, Ultrazone, I think there's killer stuff in all those.
Of course, it's
even
by.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. Even up to what is the Real Illusions? There's some great stuff on that. I really like Building the Church is freaking sick. That's one of his best songs I think he's ever done.
I'll tell you what, when it comes to like instrumental guitar, like I come back to Paul Gilbert's instrumental albums more than you would think I would.
Come out, Get Out My Yard and stuff like that.
Oddly enough.
Yeah.
Like there's something about
Satriani, of course, is the god of that. That's like his bag, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like Satriani, like live is an experience that I think every guitar player should have. Because he's just that good.
Yeah. Well, the songs are good, too. That's the thing. It's instrumental, but they're still great songs.
They are, but I'm not generally going to reach for a Satriani. I think he's a little bit too... There's something a little too... He's not like heavy. Like there's sort
You're
of,
right.
there's sort of
it's not ballsy, but it's interesting and cool and rock and roll, but it's not ballsy.
Yeah, there's kind of an adult contemporariness.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
it's in there, but it's
more the Who than it is Zeppelin. Does that make sense? I see what you mean. I've actually had that same thought too. Like where's the heavy song?
Or like like Yngwie wants to like turn me to ashes with a flamethrower. Yeah. and that's like my prerogative when I play
and the last
guitar,
time we saw him, like he also didn't want to finish any song. He just like meandered at the end of a song into another song. I was like, wait, wasn't that Queen Is in Love? Wait, what happened? Wait, we're just gonna go in his other song now? Let's check.
But hey, you know what? If you count Aftershock, he played in Sacramento like 3 times last year.
He played on Aftershock?
Yeah, he was at Aftershock.
Yngwie was on Aftershock?
Yeah, Yngwie was at Aftershock.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy from EMG was telling me all about it. It was one of the highlight moments of Aftershock.
Can't imagine that had I not hit that. That's amazing. I can sit through 40 bands to see Yngwie. Yeah, I just saw him.
But I'm glad he was there for all the kids that showed up to see like whatever other shit band, like, and then ended up getting to see Yngwie. Maybe they were like, "Whoa, Yngwie!
Who's this Swedish, Yngwie Mengelstein?
What's all this awesome talent and skill?
Yeah, I know.
I'm experiencing. What's this contrast?
And it's probably too much for them. They don't know how to deal with it.
Could have been. I mean, I didn't look to see like what the death count was at Aftershock of just like. Of like generation wires just like vaporizing.
I just have a hard time getting excited when I'm like, Blink-182 and Korn are like the headliners of the whole thing. It's just like that's very. That's
so I'm glad Yngwie was there.
Yeah, he was
to get all the Blink-182 Korn enthusiasts to hear
real deal
good music.
Yep. So I guess the big point that we're trying to make is that like there's a lot of great stuff. It's funny. It's so easy to kind of, and especially the older you get, I find this is true, that you really kind of fall into what you've always like are into. Like I really love, for me it's like Van Halen. For you it's like King Diamond.
Yep.
You kind of like, this is great. I'm gonna go back to the well again and with my stuff I always loved forever, and that's fine to do that. But there's great stuff coming out all the time, and that brings me to the next thing I want to talk about, which is that there's a lot of great things about being a musician or being a music fan in this time period we're living in. And if you think about it, guys, like we have unlimited access to anything at all times. Like so if there's an artist that we're talking about, you don't know them, you could find their music and probably their entire catalog within 10 seconds of right now.
Yeah, in fact, we just did that on the drive to and from LA, right?
This is a great thing about this. Now, from an artist perspective, like us putting out music, both with Exaegis and with our solo stuff, it's like one of those things where everybody in the world can find our stuff, and you have the access as a musician to have their music out to everybody. That's something that's incredible. If you are a person who just discovered a new artist that you're very passionate about, you can roll around into that and just figure out the entire catalog within a couple of hours of finding about that artist.
Yeah, totally.
That's a brilliant thing. Like if I have a student walk in the day, and this is funny, this has happened since we've been teaching, you and I, is that when I was a younger instructor, like say in the late 90s, early 2000s, right, there was no streaming, none of that stuff. There was no YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So someone came in with an artist they want to learn, they had to bring a CD or God help us, a tape for us to hear it.
Oh, dude, I remember bringing Billy Rainey when I was a kid. I had recorded Rainbow in the Dark on the cassette deck of my stereo,
like off the radio, you mean?
Off the radio, yeah. And then like there was like, but then I also accidentally I was playing the solo back and forth on the cassette. So it's already like a low quality, like there's no high resolution anything back then, right?
Talking like probably late 80s, early 90s, right?
Yeah, I was like play the solo, rewind it, press play again, rewind, press play, rewind, press play. Oh shit! I accidentally hit record for like a nanosecond.
Oh no!
So now there's like a dropout in the solo. Like I just remember being so fucking frustrated about that. But it was the only point of reference that we had at the lesson.
Yeah. So if there's an artist that you aren't familiar with, the student wants to learn their stuff, you had no options at that point. They had to bring it into you. You know what I mean? Nowadays, It could be anything.
Yeah, just go to
anything.
YouTube.
Think of anything, and I can find it right now. It's just like right there. You know
and you know what? As a teacher and as a guitar player, right? That's been over the years. It's been good for. It's got to be good for my own development because I've had to listen to music from a variety of genres.
Stuff that you would never come off on your own. There's no way.
Yeah. So basically, if you have a half-hour lesson, I've got 5 minutes to learn this song well enough to turn around and show you how to play it.
Yep.
Or like play a version of it, or at least like get the foundation of what's going on.
Yeah. And
you do that enough to I know Rick Beato talks about this, music professor guy, YouTube channel, right? Like, having students for all these years, like that builds up your ear training, right? So you can hear stuff and like turn around and play it right away. And, people are always amazed at like, how can you do that? Well, I've just been doing it all the time for a lot of years.
Usually my answer to that is I've been playing guitar a really long time. You know what I mean? And
well, not just playing guitar a really long time, but playing guitar for others.
Well, playing guitar all day long, every day of my life for a really long time. You have for 30-something years, that's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and having to like quickly like identify what's happening in a piece of music you've never heard before and then replicate it.
Yep. Well, yeah, but thankfully, especially with the kind of music that is popular amongst the kiddos, it's not like
Well, that's not rocket science.
We're not learning freaking trilogy suites.
Well, but we have adult students though. Like I had a student just taught her how to play. What is this? The Jim Croce song, like "While My Guitar Gently Weeps." Or
Wait,
something,
isn't that a
no? It's It's a "Time in a Bottle."
Oh, okay.
That's it. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I've had people request that song before too.
Yeah, dude, my brain is still relaxed from vacation.
You can't think about Jim Croce. You don't have the gate rights.
So my recall is probably not what it usually is because I'm still in like Halloween Horror Nights.
I've actually had people request that song before too.
Yeah,
that's a lot of interesting chord versions, and there's like finger picking going on and stuff.
Well, and the recording, if the recording is your reference, it's also multi-tracked.
Yeah.
So
you have to kind of figure out, okay, what's the chord changes, and then how am I going to do an interpretation of this? You know what I mean?
Right. I actually found a good interpretation. I'll share it with you. It's But so then you get so first you learn it by ear, then then I went and got some sheet music for it, and I checked that out, and then I had to develop like a third version for the student.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
that builds your chops up.
I think there's a lot of value in that as a musician to like sit down. And I think one thing I always use that as an experience of talking about, okay, why does this music theory stuff matter? Why does it matter to understand what a chord progression is and what keys are and modulation? Because when you find the one chord, there's only one of these other chords it's going to be. So it makes it so you can, and especially like pop music, it's so It's all
1-5-6-4.
Yeah, or 1-4-5 or 1-5-2-4-1.
Right,
it's like all the same like 6 chord progressions. Every other song is one of these 6 progressions. So once you find the one chord, you've got it. That blows their mind. And then I try to explain to them, look, there's like 6 chord progressions. Every song is like one of these 6 chord progressions. So once you figure out the one chord, you've freaking got it. It's like this one, this one, this one, this one. That's all it could be. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of those things where it's like when you're not a musician, I think that's a big like door opening of like consciousness. When you're not a musician going to be a musician, it's like, oh, so this is just like a pattern that just keeps repeating over and over and over again in all these different kinds of music. And then once you know that, it's like at first though it's like a magic trick. Like how'd you know? It's almost like what's my name, and you guess the name or something. But it's like, well, there's only like 10 names it could be. It's like you look like a gym.
So it's like it's like learning how to count cards.
Exactly.
Right.
But more skilled than that. But that's like, so sometimes there's pushback when you're saying, okay, we're going to learn how to play chord progressions and we're going to change keys and then find multiple ways to play that same chord progression. Then we're going to tie in the scales with how it relates to those chords. They kind of like, what's the point of all this? It's like, well, this is the point of all that because you actually know what you're doing if you do that stuff. You know what I mean? And it's I don't know. It's so strange. I think I've talked about before. Like when I was first learning how to play, I couldn't imagine not wanting to know everything. Like, why would that be even something we have to discuss? Like, tell me everything. It's like, I want to know everything there is to know. You know what I mean? The idea of like pushing back, like, what do I need to know about this?
I don't want to learn theory because I want to be original.
Yeah, or I want to play by my heart or whatever. You know?
No, those cop outs.
Yeah,
anyway,
totally. Yeah. But on a positive note,
yes,
it is not a cop out. It is like what you should do, and I think that's a massive positive. Like now we have access to everything that you can possibly imagine, both as an artist putting out music and as a consumer taking in music.
Totally,
you have that capacity to do that. You know what I mean? And
there are benefits to there's also digital recording, right?
Yeah, it's true. You can have like professionally recorded stuff in your freaking basement on a freaking laptop. You can say the laptop with like amp sims and have these totally pro sounding recordings with plugins. They'll make it sound like it's a vintage freaking like tube compressor and stuff.
That's right.
And then it's very affordable too.
Well, plus we can do I do recording projects with my students to help them develop their musical ideas, right? Like that was not a possibility
even back in like the early 2000s. Even.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean
would have been cost prohibitive. It would have been slow and tedious, and
I mean, you could probably use like a little 4-track cassette or something like that. Do a version of it or something. But that'd be like,
I remember trying to use those. Those were
the Tascam Porta Studios and stuff like that. But I mean, you could do a version of it then. That would have still been probably pretty exciting to the person you're working with at that point. But I think that having those sort of barriers to entry being lowered is a positive and a negative. Positive in the sense that people are able to explore their creativity, and a negative in the sense that everybody in the world is putting out music too. So instead of like, hey, we got 100 releases this year, it's like, oh, we have 100,000 releases this year.
Yeah, it just depends on what your goals are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to make money on Spotify, just buy shares of Spotify.
Yes. As we've discovered, what's the latest? We have not like touched bases on.
Yeah, I haven't been holding that. I'm basically I'm like losing my entire life savings in cryptocurrency right now. So.
Oh well, okay, just sit tight, man. It's all good.
No, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it is going to be fine. Yeah,
it's all going to come back. The
vagaries of the market are always
the weak hands are being shaken out, and if our incompetent government would ever open up again, then I think we'll get back to a risk-on sentiment after some recovery. Yeah. So
long game, play the long game, man.
Yeah, so playing the long game, just buying more shares.
Yeah, people come to Rock Guitar Confidential to really get financial advice and investing advice. Which, by the way, we are not qualified to get. We are not qualified to give advice on any of this stuff.
And we are not. Yeah. This is not financial advice.
Nope, not at all.
It is not financial advice.
If you end up losing your house in some way, or you that's not our fault.
I mean, I basically just told everyone I was losing my ass.
Yeah, but
so don't do what I do.
We are not trying to give any financial advice. Just so this disclaimer. Nope. Rock Guitar Confidential is not responsible for any kind of investment advice or like financial advice. We're not qualified.
Or really anything at all.
No, rock music.
We're not, but we're not responsible for it. We're not liable for anything ever.
God, could you damage someone with rock music? I don't know. Is that possible? Is there like one of those lawyers? Is like the Law Brothers going to come hit us up and say we're suing you because you get bad rock and roll advice? I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
We're not getting sponsored by them, by the way. I'm just.
Are the sounds that Post Malone makes, is that rock music?
No,
it is not. It's like country music.
I don't think there's really
an damaged person with that.
For what it is. Yes, and over years, it's almost like being exposed to like radiation or something. Just like over years, it builds up, and then you get dumb. One day you wake up and you're dumb, and face tattoos start seeming like a good idea.
Damn it. That reminds me. I set up a driver profile for Misty in the new car.
Oh God!
And she figured out
who's wonderful, Ryan's partner.
And she figured out how to play KNCI music through it. So I still need to wash the speakers out in my car.
Yeah. I mean. So I'm sorry, man. I'm not.
Dude, I just got it, and now New Country has been like all through all the speaker cable in the car.
Well, we all have our cross to bear, my friend.
That's I wonder if do the antivirus like companies, do they make a program that'll like delete all the New Country like off of your hard drive?
Probably. I'm sure someone's working on that right now.
We should develop that.
There's a startup we just got to find an angel investor, man. We'll figure it out.
Just call it like New Country Scrub,
and then you and I need to develop
Country Scrub.
That's more good. Country Scrub from the makers of corn trucks.
From the makers of corn trucks, here comes Country Scrub.
Perfect. Yeah.
Scrub the New Country. Off of your hard drive.
If it's coming from the corn trucks people, they actually probably want to get more New Country in that. That seems like that would be like that'd be more of the feature that they would have in that one. Like, are you having too much non-country music? That's what that would be. We need to develop a lot more technical skills when it comes to writing code if we're going to develop something.
That's right.
I don't think we're qualified for that either.
I mean, AI is going to write all the code here soon.
That's true. Well, we don't even know how to do that either. So it's like Ryan and I know how to play guitar and make comments on things. That's basically what we know. You know what I mean? So I mean, not to lay our foibles bare to the world, but I feel like that's
foibles.
What we know.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So and hey,
I'm also known for malapropisms.
Nice malapropisms. Yep. Nice.
So
excellent.
I'm just dunking on.
That's good. Thank you for the malappropriation.
You mean misappropriation, sir? Like we did with those funds.
Well, I mean misappropriation as well. But.
All right, now we're just wandering. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Rock Guitar Confidential podcast with Ryan and Scott. Please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. And while you're at it, please check out our website at xhsband.com.
Again, that's www.exhsband.com.
All right, there you'll find links to our social media, so please make sure to follow us on social media and send us nice comments if you are so inclined. And we'll see you next week. Thanks so much for listening.
Peace.